dog in the street.
Purple Daily is daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.
I will ride with this group.
Seriously, man. Please.
And away we go.
Gentlemen, welcome in to Vikings Vent Line on the Purple Daily YouTube channel, the most fan-friendly show in all of Minnesota sports, the people's show, if you will. Before we go any further, Judd, hopefully within arm's length, you have a flag because the Minnesota Vikings, well, they won the game 34-26. Oh my gosh, what's happening right now? This is an absolute.
Oh man, let's just wait. He's muted too, so
he can't find the flag.
Is that a towel?
That's not the flag.
What happened to the flag, man?
Where's the flag? They won last week. They just won a game last week. There's
right
the
behind
flag.
them. My mother used to brilliantly say, it was her birthday today too. Couldn't find your ass with both hands, Declan, and that applies maybe to Judd with the flag too.
I know they haven't won that many games yet this season, but Judd, by the way, you're muted still. You just muted yourself right before we popped up.
That's a great saying. I found it.
There we go. This is like a microcosm for how the Viking season started. The show is started, or like the game tonight. It's like we threw an interception right off the bat, but the rest of the show is going to be aces.
Well, I just did not expect that the flag would be in play.
Wow.
I should have known.
No
that.
faith. I put my faith at
did-
underdog. By the way, promo code SCORE. I had a great night. I put some faith in there.
I did not have faith.
Come on.
So they not only win the game 34-26, they averaged up until like, you know, they're just running the ball out and trying to get a field goal. Yeah. They averaged at one point before the final drive, they were up to 7.5 yards per play. And J.J. McCarthy, after having the best game of his career last week, one up that, or maybe multiple times up that, with his new high bar, the best game of his career. And this is, as we load in over 5,000 people here right now, late at night. We're going to go for the next 90 minutes, 2 hours, however long it takes late into the night here. We're going to give our takes. We'll turn it over to you guys as we do every week. We got the sports dad, Judd Zulgad. We got the actual dad, Declan Goff. I am Phil Mackey. You can get on the show by sending a request to vikingsventline@gmail.com. We'll try to get to as many of you as possible. Get to your point quickly and make room for other people and keep it clean. Don't get us in trouble. Judd, before we give our takes, why don't you give us a take about Quick Trip? There's a lot to discuss tonight.
I definitely will, and it's this. The holidays are coming. We are very close. Christmas is right around the corner, and may I present you a great opportunity to find a stocking stuffer for a friend or a family member. That would be a Quick Trip gift card. The ultimate holiday hack. Now, as you can see, all of the options at Quick Trip look outstanding, and this does not even go outside and show you the gasoline, which comes with a quality gasoline guarantee, but we're talking coffee, we're talking snacks, we're talking delicious meals, and they're all available at Quick Trip. Now, you purchase the gift card in the store or online, and guess what you got? You got somebody who is very happy. Just go to quicktrip.com/shop, quicktrip.com/shop to get those gift cards.
Also, shout out to North American Banking Company for presenting Vikings Vent Line. Joe, what was your biggest takeaway off of this Sunday night football victory?
That J.J. McCarthy is now, to quote Kevin O'Connell, stacking games. He's stacking games. I was more impressed tonight than I was last week. Now, I know Dallas's defense is leaky. It's not good. But that being said, J.J. McCarthy was given an opportunity, it felt like, and in a weird way, it probably helps that the Vikings' playoff chances ended this afternoon when the Bears won their game, right? Because the Vikings entered the game out of the playoffs. There's no hope. So it felt like O'Connell really turned McCarthy loose in a variety of situations without worrying about his mechanics. And I mean, I thought NBC and Collinsworth did a marvelous job of sort of like breaking his night down. I thought that was great. But anyway, without that concern, I mean, I've charted a bunch of just what I thought were really great throws. The 2 touchdown passes, especially the first one to Naylor, the 58-yard throw to Addison. Could have been a little bit more in stride, but it's still a nice throw. Hawkinson for the second consecutive game, that 29-yard dart. So my main takeaway is what's going to be the most important thing of these last 5 games. Now it's down to 3 games, but it's going to be, can J.J. McCarthy stack performances where you say, okay, you know what? He looks like he belongs. Because there was literally a stretch of games where he did not look like he belonged on the field. It was frightening. And my answer last Sunday was yes, let's see, right? Tonight, on the road, prime time, defense that's not great, but still, it's a bigger stage for sure than the Commanders game. So, bravo. I thought it was a step in the right direction, and I was more impressed this time than I was last time, but that's 8 quarters of football now.
Yeah, I think I have my 2 biggest quick takeaways are, number one, Kevin O'Connell, the last 2 weeks, has drastically changed his personnel strategy and maybe even a little bit of schematic tweaking too. So last week we documented that the Vikings went from a team that was running 70% of offensive plays using 3 wide receiver sets. And that's what Kevin O'Connell has been doing mostly successfully for the better part of 4 years here with the Vikings. But it's been the 3 wide receiver sets have been a train wreck for them this season. It hasn't worked. Some of it's that the quarterback isn't comfortable and performing in those personnel sets. So he decided against Washington, you know what? Okay, as part of meeting McCarthy where he is, let's forget about mechanics for a little bit, and I'll put some more tight ends and fullbacks on the field for you. We're going to go 50% 11 personnel instead of 70%. And the offense clicked a lot more against a bad defense. Okay, Cowboys, better defense the last month and a half than the overall season stats would tell you. And according to DFF, Dex Football Focus,
Yep.
you were tracking again tonight. It was 50%. They went from 70 to 50%, 11 personnel, more tight ends, oftentimes 3 tight end sets, not even just in the red zone, but between the 20s, to give J.J. McCarthy more of that feel and create some mismatches so that the tight ends who can catch passes can get on a linebacker or whatever. But that's what he had at Michigan. So Kevin O'Connell took a while, but he has met J.J. schematically and personnel-wise where he's at. And then on the J.J. McCarthy front, my biggest takeaway is we don't know yet if he's going to be a franchise quarterback, a longtime starter. We don't know yet. It's going to take 15, 20, 25, 30 games before we really, really have a book on him. Whether that happens with the Vikings or not will be determined this offseason. But for the people saying, oh, he can't play after 5 or 6 games, you might want to just sit the rest of these games out. And if you're watching that game tonight or that game last week, it's not perfect, but you are not a serious person if you watched his first 5 or 6 games and thought, that's it. Can't play. I've seen enough. It was bad the first 5 or 6 games, but that dude has traits and upside and arm talent, and there's some mechanical stuff, and I'm not saying it's perfect, and I'm not even saying he's going to be this franchise's quarterback for 10 years. I don't know. But to say oh, he's garbage. He's terrible. He can't play. What are they doing? Take a deep breath. You've seen the last 2 weeks. You're going to throw the towel in on what you saw tonight from that kid, even with a couple bad throws to, there's a couple with Jefferson, just take a little off the heater. But man, he is showing exactly why he was a top 10 overall pick a year and a half ago.
Although you now have to get, for those folks, I will defend them a bit and say you now have to get the head coach to continue this into next season, almost certainly. If he's going to go back to what he did and not provide help, you're going to set the kid back again. So I guess my question is, are you adjusting this? Because again, it's 5 games and you're like, okay, let's just see. But and I don't like this style of football, but we'll do it. Or is this a commitment to a change? That's a question that I think is extremely important. O'Connell's not going to tell us, but that becomes a very important thing because he's gone from looking unplayably lost to looking comfortable, and we know exactly why.
Yeah, and some of it is just playing some games and being out there and being relatively healthy. But if it's more of a coach and schematic thing, and even some just back and forth on what they want him to focus on, mechanics, you gotta nail these things before we allow you to go into a football game. Never mind. A month later, just go out there and play free and don't think about it. I still have a lot of questions about the way he has been handled and coached from week to week, and maybe even from month to month going back to when he had the injury. But if, to your point, I know you're kind of to defend the people that were out on him. If your point is, well, hey, O'Connell has to continue to sort of meet him in the middle, that's more of a referendum on Kevin O'Connell at that point than it would be on J.J. McCarthy.
Agreed
If
completely.
this is the best way to get the most out of him, which is heavier personnel packages, lean on the run, like tonight, they didn't have a wildly successful run game in terms of stats, but they ran the ball 27 times for only like 80 yards or 78 yards.
Yes.
But the effectiveness of threatening to run at that offense, setting up various play actions. I'll bet if you go watch that film, linebackers are pausing for a second. There's probably some of those hits in that intermediate level are due to like, they've been pounding, they've been trying to pound the run. And also you're just delivering body blow after body blow. And Kevin has not been a coach that does that on a regular basis. So I do give him a little credit for finally figuring some of this stuff out.
I'm inclined to agree with you, though. This is a complete and utter referendum on O'Connell. And my point is, like, this is a marriage. And O'Connell has decided to meet JJ at a point where JJ is comfortable. If he is going to go back to, okay, what we're going to do in the spring is we're going to work on your mechanics, and I'm going to have a quarterback that can run the system that I like to run, then this is just fool's gold. So that's my question. And we don't know. But I mean, that's the question. I think if you trot JJ out on opening day next season and say, we're back to where we were, dude, get your mechanics right, and we're going to drive the ball downfield. And if the run doesn't work, screw the run. Because the most frustrating thing, what was the game? Oh, the Seattle game, where O'Connell's point is, well, we couldn't really run. Like, the run didn't work. It's like, it doesn't matter. You have to run. Like he didn't, like, that is to me, I'm not trying to sound like an ass here, but that is such a small, football people all know that. You don't abandon the run because it's not working. You continue to hammer it. I mean, Adrian Peterson, one of the great philosophers of our time. Famine, feast. Famine, feast, right? I'll lose 2 yards, I'll get 1 yard, and then I'll go 80 yards. So that's my thing. But I think tonight was and I think the last 8 quarters have been an incredibly positive step, because now we're starting to see something that we didn't come close to seeing for McCarthy's first 7 or so starts.
Yeah. I mean, they had to walk. You have to walk before you can run. If you're J.J. McCarthy, and for whatever reason, they had him sprinting. They had him as an Olympic sprinter when he needs to walk first, man. So whether that, like, and I'm for it. Like, I was tracking this stuff all. I went into this game knowing, all right, I'm just gonna have next gen stats up, and I am literally refreshing after every play. How many times it's 13 personnel? How many times it's 22 personnel? How many times it's this, and that? Outside of your naked eye, too, of seeing, okay, there's only one wide receiver on the field. But this is a good first step. But the challenging part is, or the part that they have to lean into is, do you want to build because right now they're set up with 3 wide receivers, right? Jefferson, that's a huge topic as it is, and Addison and Jalen Naylor. So they have 3 capable wide receivers. One of them might be leaving in Jalen Naylor, but you need to adopt or figure out what style you want to do it. Because eventually you will dial back up the 11 personnel. And they had, I think, 20-something plays again in 11. So it's not like 11 personnel is just going away. No. You're simply asking, okay, mix it up, dial back the 11 personnel, dial up some other things, and then let this guy get comfortable. And then, if we want to let him out of the track meet and let him start running a little bit once he's comfortable, let's have that conversation. But that is a philosophical thing that they have to decide this offseason to figure out what that identity looks like in 26.
And it's not like a scheme overhaul. These are like tweaks to, you can run a lot of the same plays or whatever. It's just like there happens to be, okay, there's like an extra inline tight end here, and he can still go out and run a route. But it is, and man, you saw the confidence that he throws with to those tight ends sometimes, just ripping the ball up the seam. And I'm still skeptical as to whether TJ Hawkinson's going to be on this team with just his cap hit and his contract. But you can probably find somebody else to catch 4 or 5 passes and be that threat up the seam. But just what a performance by McCarthy. The Vikings explode for 34 points. I get that they're out of the playoffs, and some people are devastated that they're not moving up the tankathon board. But in my opinion, especially in a year where you aren't going to draft a quarterback, even if McCarthy plays poorly over the last month, I don't think this is the draft where you would then pull the trigger again on a quarterback. The difference between picking 6th and 11th or 6th and 12th is not nearly as important as figuring out more information, ideally good information, about your 22-year-old starting quarterback.
That's the most important thing. My point has been, if the defense happens to give up more points than the offense can score, but McCarthy looks good, that's awesome. But McCarthy's the most important thing. There's no question. And a few of those throws, including that third quarter 29-yard just piss missile to Hawkinson, you guys, that was what we saw in training camp.
Piss missile.
If that's what we saw, like we talked about it, and it felt foolish because like we watch these games and we're like, there's nothing that we saw in training camp, right? But like that pass was what we saw. Like that's where the dude has an arm.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes even the best receiver in the world can't handle that cannon. That ball went right through Justin Jefferson's hands.
How many, I don't know if they're classified as drops or misses, but how many of those have there been in the end zone this season with Justin Jefferson?
It's weird.
I mean,
bizarre.
I still love him, but it is bizarre.
You guys want to fire it up here?
Yeah,
fire up the old. Can we start with Brady?
Yeah.
I think that's Brady LaRock in there.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so Brady LaRock, friend of the show, and his father was the longtime in-stadium PA announcer for the Dallas Cowboys. So you've got as much as anyone a taste of. You're a Vikings fan who has family lineage ingrained in the Cowboys, and you get to lead us off here, Brady.
Well, thank you very much. I wanted to go to the game tonight, but I didn't want to, overstep my bounds of, I don't know where I lean with Vikings and Cowboys fans here in Dallas. So I stayed home. So I am here in Dallas, but I just really wanted to talk about, you guys had a lot of great points to what we're talking about with JJ McCarthy, how great he looked tonight. And you're kind of being a little bit easy and like trying not to get too excited. But my point that I wanted to make, let's get excited. Let's get excited for JJ McCarthy. This guy, I'm here to remind you guys, this guy, yes, wave the flag, Judd. This guy is our quarterback.
Can he find
this guy is going to lead us to the promised land. JJ McCarthy is the quarterback of the future of the Minnesota Vikings. Can I remind you guys that, yes, the whole 9 meme thing has sucked being a Vikings fan. This has been embarrassing. But without that, if we take that back, 4 of the 8 losses are from Wentz and Max Brosmer. 4 or 5 of his 11 interceptions are just like what happened tonight. That interception wasn't his fault. Yeah, he should have thrown it a little to the right, but that wasn't just like a clear pick, a wide open pass to some cornerback in the middle of the field. Take away those picks, take away these Wentz Brosmer losses. We're looking at a better team. We're barely making it to the playoffs this season, yes, but next year, like you said, Mackie, we're developing this guy for this season. Next year is going to be so great. I'm super excited for JJ McCarthy.
Brady, great leadoff, man. Awesome stuff.
Great pipes,
holding it
too,
down.
man.
In
Always
Dallas.
love the pipes. Just great pipes.
Brady LaRock in the house. Let's keep it going here.
Yeah,
We've
yeah.
already kind of set our. We'll jump in more with takes and thoughts off what you guys say. Let's keep it rocking.
I think Ben is at Jerry World. Ben?
Yeah, here we go.
There he is.
Nice, Ben.
All right. Hey, great game. I don't know what's wrong with Jefferson, why JJ can't connect with him. What's up with that? But O'Connell, he managed to dial it back for another game. Jalen Naylor, legacy game. And the defense stepped up against a good Cowboys offense. That's all I got to say about that. Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Love it, man. Checking in
Good
from
stuff.
Jerry World there. Yeah, Jalen Naylor winds up with 2 touchdowns, 3 catches, 47 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then that massive that might have been McCarthy's best throw of the night. That back shoulder, that was the 4th down throw.
Yep.
They went for it on
Fourth
like
and three.
4th and 3.
They lost 2 yards and went for it on 4th and 3, and that was a great throw and a nice catch.
I think it was the same play that they daggered the Lions on. It was that same kind of Naylor's on the right side of the formation. He's got a one-on-one, a little bit of a back shoulder to the sideline. Boom. Extend it.
Those two have a chemistry, which, by the way, we did not see in training camp because
weird.
Jalen was hurt,
Yeah.
or at least for part of it. But that dude, I give him credit. He has made himself a lot of cash, like in the last month or so.
Yeah, for sure. Like he's going to get
He is vying to be a serious second receiver, I think, somewhere.
it's hard to see it in a purple jersey here unless they make some other blockbuster move to clear a spot for him.
Yeah.
Just with their cap
Cap-wise, you're right.
situation,
You're
just
right.
makes it kind of tough. So back to the vent lines here, Dex. We got 8,500 people here late into the night. Click that subscribe button if you're new here. Welcome
going to work
in.
tomorrow?
Or people are going to be a little bit tired and
Awesome.
tired and on adrenaline tomorrow at work. Who's next on vent line?
Yeah, I think Drake is walking out. Drake is walking out of the stadium.
Hey,
What's up, buddy?
What's
going on, guys?
dude?
Hey, like I said in the email, Eric, here, I need you to hold this up and tell me how much you love the Vikings, bud. Are they ready? Yeah. Oh, hell.
Oh, no, this poor guy.
Come on. All right, baby. All right. I'm a diehard Cowboys fan, by the way. So this hurts. Nah, he loves the Vikings. This hurts. I appreciate the Vikings.
Let me do it.
Say it.
I'm telling
Come on,
you.
then
All
what you say,
right.
all right. Just for you guys, I love the Cowboys.
No.
You're not living
We're
up
gonna,
to
we're,
your end
gonna
of the
edit,
bargain.
we're gonna edit that together.
All right. Nah, you gonna throw it on the ground or something? Nah, but yeah, great game by JJ McCarthy. Great game by JJ McCarthy. If he can have a good rest of the season, maybe leading up into the off-season program, get a veteran quarterback in there just to help guide him along. We're gonna have a good offense.
This team is trash.
Yeah, well,
You knew that was
your,
coming.
your season's
So,
over
yeah.
too now, by the way.
I like
Just-
Justin Jefferson, though.
That's the main takeaway. Jalen Naylor, like y'all just said, had a great game. JJ McCarthy popped off today, and he popped off against the Commanders. I know we were kind of saying last week that the Commanders, kind of like a JV NFL team, don't put too much weight into it, but we got 2 in a row now. Cowboys aren't a bad team, so just feeling good about going into these next few games, and if he can keep it up, might be the QB of the future.
Yeah, I love it, man. We got okay. All right, we're gonna
Thank
say goodbye.
Yeah.
That was awesome. By the way, that kid was like negative 20 years old the last time the Cowboys went anywhere near the
Yeah, you're right.
conference championship game. So,
You're right.
yeah, little history lesson there. Their season's cooked, right? I think.
Yeah.
Are they like
Well,
mathematically?
They're not mathematically out yet, no.
Okay.
Yeah, but they were saying something. Do the Eagles play on Thursday Night Football coming up on Thursday or something? No, Seattle and I think the LA does. Collinsworth said that there's
Rams
a chance
do, for
that they
sure.
can
Yeah.
be Dallas could be eliminated before they kick off next week.
It's life
Okay.
support for them
Yeah,
now.
life
Yeah,
support.
it's,
They had to get
I think
this one.
if Seattle, my guess is if Seattle wins that game, it would ruin the Cowboys. But the division, whatever, they're 6-7-1.
Yeah.
Vikings just
Maybe don't
pretty
tie.
much put their season on ice here tonight.
Yeah. How about that?
All right, back to the vent lines.
Let's go to Mark. Mark, what's up, man?
What up, boys? Can you hear me?
Yes.
We got you, Mark.
Hey, second week in a row that I'm calling. Just wanted last week we talked about how last week was JJ McCarthy's fool's gold game. This week is his real gold game. Like we discussed last week, I wanted to see him get over 200 yards passing, actually win in a shootout, and that's exactly what tonight was. Defense did not show up. The running game on our side was fairly not really all that great, and JJ McCarthy balled out, threw for over 200 yards. Would have had 3 touchdowns if Jefferson had caught that touchdown. Maybe KOC can work on his mechanics this offseason. But this is another box checked for JJ McCarthy. He's winning in primetime, went on the road, first start in Chicago, winning here, went on the road against a Red Hawk Detroit Lions team. I'm slowly becoming a believer. I agree with Thor. Give him all of 2026, bring in a veteran with the injury concerns, but give him 2026. Skull Vikes.
Yeah. There he is, Mark.
Nice.
See, I remember I poked at Mark last week because he wanted 200 yards, and JJ went above and beyond and nailed the assignment for 250 yards today.
The thing that I like the most, though, in these past 2 games is I feel like he's put together pretty complete games. Like the Bears game in week 1, the fourth quarter was phenomenal, but there was a lot of like, whoa, what's this in the first 3 quarters? The Detroit game, he improved definitely. That's an impressive win. But these last 2 games, there has not been like a quarter or 2 where he's gone just completely off, the rails basically, and then come back. It feels like everything is much more stable, which is an absolute must.
Yeah, it does. But if you start to even take some of the peaks and flashes so I agree with you. It feels like 2 really solid full-length games. You're not going to score on every drive, but there's some throws you want back, and some of those are going to get ironed out if he can keep fixing the mechanics. But then if you take what you saw take the last 2 games and also take what you saw in the fourth quarter against the Bears, what you saw in the first and fourth quarters against the Lions. And it's all a small sample size, 8 games, small sample size. But those are like wow moments that he has shown. Like he has shown with some of the tight window throws, with a couple of the gutty comebacks, the Bears comeback. There's some there here. And I'll go back to what I said off the top. The people that were like, I've seen enough. 5 or 6 games, I've seen enough. It's like, dude, what? How many different quarterbacks have to look like garbage for 20 or 25 games before, and then turn it around before you just give a guy a minute? Now, I think as far as like how the Vikings feel about him, they have to figure that out as a franchise. And okay, if there's some alpha out there that's a no-brainer and it bumps him into a backup role, like we're still going to entertain those discussions as long as the reports are out there. But if he keeps playing like this, it drastically, in my opinion, lessens the chances that they would go big game hunting for someone to replace him. Because if he can operate at a high level, making almost no money, you'd rather pour those resources, draft picks, and money into continuing to make the roster competitive, which they tried to do this year, and it obviously didn't work.
I think at the very least you have to go out and get a backup QB who can play for sure. But it definitely changes that. And it's funny too, because I thought the last 2 games, Detroit and the Packers, were going to be like these huge tests. There'll be tests, but I mean, it looks like Micah Parsons tore his ACL. The Packers have like 5 key guys out now. They're a complete mess, and Detroit got waxed by my guy Stafford. So
everyone's getting waxed by your guy Stafford.
So it's interesting though. It's
those
going
are still
to be
like huge tests, right? Like you.
Yes. But I'm saying the Packers now, if Parsons is done, which it sounds like he probably is, it's very feasible. It's still a test, but it's very feasible that the Vikings could win that game, unless the defense melts down. Like if you play like you did tonight, play calling wise, schematically, I think you can beat both teams at home.
And it's also worth noting the Packers were a top 5 defense a year ago without Micah Parsons. Like Micah Parsons is incredible. He's a Hall of Famer at some point probably, but that's a team that's going to be fighting for playoff position. You're going to get tested in the next few weeks. You're going to learn a lot more even than you did the last 2 games here. So Dex, who's next on Vikings Vent Line?
Yeah, let's go to Tim. Tim, what's up, man? You're on Vikings Vent Line.
Hey guys, how are you guys doing?
Yo, dude.
Excellent.
First time calling in. I've been listening to you guys for about 2 years. One thing I want to say about tonight is I think the J.J. McCarthy hate needs to kind of calm down. And the only reason I say that is I watched him at Michigan. He wasn't a great passer there. He handed the ball off a lot, but he's got Kevin O'Connell. And I know we were talking about Joe Burrow this week and everything like that. I don't think we need to give up all the draft capital to get Joe Burrow, and I think we need to build around McCarthy. Because you have Caleb Downs, you have that Carnell Tate can take Jalen Naylor's spot this year, where we're at from Ohio State. So I think the hate needs to kind of stop with McCarthy.
Yeah, Tim, thanks for jumping on. Don't be a stranger in the future.
I don't know right now. I don't think it's hate, but I mean, there's going to be a healthy dose, and this includes from the Vikings, of skepticism, which there probably should be. So like, I don't think that this is hate. Like, it's okay to question a player. He should be questioned. O'Connell has been and should be questioned. So I don't think that this is hate, but I will tell you right now, and I mean, this guy had a miserable day today, and he looks like he does not want to play for his current team. If Joe Burrow says, I want out, there's going to be 20 to 25 teams that call, including the Vikings, and just accept it. So like this whole thing of, you found your guy, don't go near Joe Burrow. Folks, everyone's going to call on Joe Burrow, except for about 5 or 6 teams probably, right?
Yeah, I still think that the chances of him actually becoming available, even if he were to sort of demand out, well, I think what they would do as a first step is, hey, we're firing Zach Taylor. We're going to get you a coach. Of course, it's the Bengals, and so are they really going to like
They didn't even clean the
actually
snow off
land
their
on.
seats. They violated NFL protocol. The fan showed up, and
They're awesome.
the snow was on all of the seats.
They're one of a kind.
Yeah, usually
They
you
are.
you pay like fans $20 a pop to come shovel. That's what the Buffalo Bills do, right?
And the
They pay their
Packers.
fans. Packers.
And league rules mandate that. Like you have to have your stadium cleaned up,
That's embarrassing.
except for the Bengals.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's a certain level of alpha quarterback that, again, like very rarely comes available unless they are in the twilight of their career. That, okay, yeah, really. There's a bunch of teams that are going to, I mean, the Rams once moved off Jared Goff, a #1 overall pick who was a Super Bowl quarterback, didn't win it, but got there because they thought Matthew Stafford was a level up. So I get that. But I'm talking more about, I think, the Mac Jones level guy, that if this is the new, I'm not saying he's not going to have another bad game at some point here. He might even have another dud in the next 3 games, McCarthy. But he continues to show you why he was a first-round pick, top 10 pick, the last 2 games, and in Chicago in the fourth quarter. And if you're going to get more and more of this, and the coach is going to meet him more and more where he's at with personnel and running the football and play calling, then I am less and less interested in trading a 3rd-round pick for a guy like Mac Jones. I'd rather just continue seeing what the J.J. McCarthy box looks like. Joe Burrow, okay, a little bit of a different conversation. Back to the Vent Lines here. 8,000 of you hanging out with us, celebrating a 34-26 Vikings win on Sunday Night Football.
Let's go to Scott. Scott, what's up, man? You're on Vikings Vent Line.
Hey guys, how we doing?
Hey, Scott.
We're good.
We're burying the lead. Big like Bill. How about the set on him to nail that 50-some yarder? Have you ever had a kicker before that we felt that was going in? I actually was like, he's gonna make this. We're fine.
His presence is so strong.
His swag is so
felt
strong.
like Brandon Aubrey was going to miss kicks tonight because of the mere existence of Big Leg Bill.
He went into Brandon Aubrey's house and basically just took whatever he wanted from that house, and no one does that. Aubrey had missed 2 field goal attempts all season. Tonight he missed 2.
Yeah,
Hard
you're
when
right.
You got kicker swag on the other
I love
sideline.
that. Big
right?
Leg Bill. You're right.
JJ looked good. That Josh Allen thing they showed was kind of interesting about how the mechanics are similar. So it's going to just take time. We just have to kind of be patient. The problem is we thought that, we can just plug him in this year and we'll be ready to go. And it probably wasn't the right idea. And then the last thing, God, love him to death, but is it just me or does Harrison Smith look like he's just done? Every tackle is just like, let me just hold the guy for a second and hope somebody comes and helps me. There's I want no part of physicality out here.
He's an
definitely
old man in football terms. It's just that simple.
Phillip Rivers looked like the old man today too for the Colts.
Well, I mean, Phillip Rivers is older than me, so.
Yeah, Scott in Chicago. Thanks for
guys.
joining us here. Hey, before we get further here, and we're gonna be hanging out late into the night here on the Purple Daily YouTube channel. Shout out to Standard Heating and Air Conditioning Decks for helping to power Vikings Vent Line tonight.
Absolutely. In fact, I just got in touch with Standard because I got to book my next tune-up. It's been 6 months since they were last out here, so I got to make sure that my furnace and HVAC, everything is still working properly. Especially, it was a cold weekend. It warms up, and then before we know it again, it's going to be in single digits. So Standard Heating is going to be coming out to my house. Make sure you book them too. If you need your HVAC looked at, contact Standard Heating. I'll go to standardheating.com, and you can email them, text them, over the phone, any way you want. They make the communication that much easier for you. They power our hottest takes, which we will also deliver tomorrow on Purple Daily. So go to Standard Heating and make sure you get your HVAC systems looked at and ready to rock.
Also, Blackstack is helping to keep us hydrated here on Purple Daily. So Blackstack has one of the best and largest tap rooms in the state of Minnesota. Not only is it massive with a 190-inch big screen TV, hundreds of board games, food trucks, and also spaciousness for your biggest friend in group gatherings. They have world-renowned craft beer. Literally, their beer gets recognized around the world, in Europe, for being some of the best craft beer in the world. And they also every week are tinkering and trying new flavors and new types of beer. And the featured beer this week is called Nopes. It's a non-alcoholic Pilsner riff off of their Slopes beer, which is great for those who want a non-alcoholic choice this holiday season that tastes amazing. When you stop into the Black Stack Tap Room, you can mention that you heard about them on Purple Daily, and they'll get you a free beer on tap and a 4-pack to take home with you. And the Canopy Group, also Judd, here on Vent Line tonight.
Absolutely. And look, here's the deal. The Canopy Group is an in-state-based independent insurance company that has your best interest in mind, much like that sports executive who is constantly on the lookout for the best talent available. The Canopy Group does the same for you when it comes to getting the best insurance coverage at the best price. What they do is they work with 16 groups of top-tier companies to make sure that you have the best insurance roster available for auto, home, health, and business. And then at renewal, they're going to get in touch with you to make sure that that roster is absolutely positively the best one for you. So give them a call, 1-800-967-3389, or check out their website at thecanopygroup.com. That's thecanopygroup.com.
All right, Purple Daily. Vikings Vent Line continues on here. Vikings 34, Cowboys 26. J.J. McCarthy, 250, a couple of touchdowns, a 108 passer rating, and 0 sacks taken. The one interception on the first throw, and everything else was pretty smooth sailing.
All right, let's go to Taco Dave. Dave,
what's up,
man?
guys? How
Dave,
you doing? Wave the flag,
Dave.
Judd.
Hold on.
Wave the flag.
I've got it right here.
There we go.
It's next to the Quinn Hughes flag, actually.
Yeah. Well, I'm under a
Judd's
heat
talking.
lamp here. I worked tonight. I watched the game while I was at work. I had to turn the volume down sometimes. It was the national broadcast. I couldn't hear my boy Paul, but I'll tell you, it was a great game. And I have a couple hot takes. I'm gonna lay them on you. I've heard some things I took off my list, but first of all, our O-line, even with backups, is doing really good. Actually, not really good, but serviceable considering they have been struggling with injuries. Like, school sucks, and he did all right. And O'Neal went out, and we did all right. And we were actually able to put together a passing game with backup tackles and with injuries across our O-line, which is something that we haven't done this year very often. So, skull to the offensive line today. Reichard, my God, do we have a kicker again? I mean, it looks like we do. I'm happy. I don't know. How about you, Judd? Grumpy Cat over there. Do you like our kicker? Are we okay with that?
I think the kicker's fantastic.
Okay.
He's fantastic.
Grumpy Cat likes the kicker. We're good. Every once in a while, Judd. I'm an old head too, man. I've been watching since the mid '80s. I know you've been watching longer.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, I think your cynicism gets the best of you.
No question about it. Yeah.
Also, JJ, Mackie, I'm with you. So many people have been so hard on him for so long, and I say so long this year. My God, has it felt long for all of us, or just me? It's felt long,
dude. This has been one of the grindiest of grinded out Viking seasons from everyone's standpoint.
I get it, but I will tell you what, Taco Mackie, that I think personally that we've got a quarterback, and I don't know, just like you said, we'll have to see. We got the Packers, we got the Lions still. We're gonna see how he plays against them, and his little leg that sweeps up on those deep passes, I think it's cute. And frankly, I've seen some other quarterbacks with some pretty crazy, super crazy mechanics. Look at Phillip Rivers' sidearm that almost beat the Seahawks this week. I mean, it came down to the last 10 seconds. Like, he almost did it with his crazy sidearm and so many overthrows. It was a great game, actually. It was fun to watch. I don't know if you guys saw that one.
Yeah.
But here's my hottest take for y'all before I tap out. We need to trade either Justin Jefferson or Jordan Addison. And right now I'm leaning toward Justin Jefferson, although I know he affects the backfield so much. But if they can't get there, I know they're not going to do it.
Now
but
who's the grumpy cat, huh?
I'm not grumpy
You're trying
about
to
it.
trade
I'm not grumpy about it. We're
Smile
gonna
on that hot take.
I'm with
Hey,
Taco
we're gonna
Davis.
get.
She's trading from a place of joy right now.
We're
so,
gonna get 2 first-round picks from
I had
him.
that much joy.
What happened last time we traded for a first-round pick on a receiver?
Yeah, you got the next.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Okay, so I think we get 2 for JJ or Justin, and if we don't, we get 1 for Addison. Either way, I'm happy. Addison still has a connection with JJ, and then we have all this money to put into Naylor, who I actually want to hold on to.
Wow, Taco Dave just coming in, slinging the trade takes.
Yes. I love the trade takes, but Justin Jefferson would be a alarming trade, a very alarming trade.
It is
Jordan. I could see.
It is fascinating that your offense has clicked very well the last 2 weeks, and Jefferson has a gravitational pull, and he alters defensive formations.
Exactly,
and he makes it easier when you see Jalen Naylor one-on-one catching a back shoulder pass. Like that one-on-one is created because Justin Jefferson is pulling somebody over somewhere. Same for like some of the tight end receptions.
Is the statistic on McCarthy's average time to throw in this game out yet? Because
yes. Just
and
saw it. It was.
Because it was good last week against the Commanders. I know that.
Wait a minute. Give me one. I can pull it up. Give me one.
Okay, because what I was going to say is the offensive line looks a lot better when the quarterback does not pat the football. So like the offensive line, like the offensive line was never as bad as we said it was, and it might not be great, but if the quarterback holds the ball, you're going to look bad.
His TTT, his time to throw, if you will,
Football
was 3 seconds in this game.
It was.
Let me compare that to his other games, because I think hold on a second here, because they had a stat up I think at halftime where when he had over 2.5 seconds to throw, he was lights out. And when he had, and some of that is deceiving because, okay, if there's quick game concepts designed, but tonight there weren't a ton of like quick game trinket things in there. It was his average depth of target at last check in the third quarter was he finished with an 11-yard ADOT average depth of target, which is above his season average, which leads the NFL.
Okay.
So he was hunting down the field. It helps when you have 2 big ones, the one to Jordan Addison, and then the other one, there was one to, was it Hawkinson? He had a deep one down there somewhere.
29 yarder. And yes. So I think that was.
Let me pull this up here.
And
so
the first Jalen touchdown was 20-something yards, right?
Yeah, it was like 21 yards, just outside the red zone.
Yeah.
So he has had it's kind of smack dab in the middle in terms of his 8 games played this year for time to throw. It's been everywhere from 2.5 to 3.5 seconds, and tonight was 3 seconds. But even that is like, it's not necessarily an apples to apples offensive line stat. They gave him 4 what are classified as big time throws, which is kind of this is PFF, kind of a subjective like a big time throw could be a third down throw. My guess is that throw to Jalen Naylor, 4th down. It's 15 yards, 20 yards down the field.
Yep.
In the air, there's a defender blanketing you.
Yep. That
would be a big time throw. You're in the face of a blitz, you eat it, you hit that would be big time throws. So this was this tied his career high of only 8 games of 4 big time throw completions. He also had on the initial grading, so they do the initial in-game grading. JJ McCarthy was the highest graded Vikings offensive player. They'll like double check and go look at the film again, and then maybe it spits out something different tomorrow. But in the moment, PFF had this as JJ McCarthy, highest graded player in the game for the Vikings, and his highest graded game by a mile all season. He had a 91.8 PFF grade and a 91.5 passer grade in this game.
That's great.
Whew.
He also was, so on dropbacks, longer than 2.5 seconds. He was 10 of 14 for $187 and a touchdown. It was a 17 plus 17.3 EPA on those dropbacks. That's the 8th most by any quarterback in a game this season.
But he can't play. So.
But he can't play. He's cooked.
It's too bad. It's a shame he can't play. It's a shame he's a bust and he's garbage. Because otherwise that'd be a really fun game to build off of tonight. But since the book's already been written, I guess we'll go back to the vent lines here. Go ahead, Judd.
Yeah.
You finish out the thread here.
Oh, I was just going to say, I'm not sure it's fair. I mean, I know that there were people that bailed. I'm not sure it's fair to say across the board, though, that people all bailed out. I mean, there were criticisms.
Well, not all people
bailed
out.
But, I mean, there's always going to be, when a guy looks that bad, there's going to be a certain faction who will never have patience. I get that. But I just think these two games have been such massive steps towards just sort of solidifying what works. I just want to see him stick with it. That's all. I just want to see him stick with this. This works. It's great. I love the fact that they stuck with the run when it didn't work.
Me too.
Like, that's what we've been looking for. And I personally, I don't care who the coach was, or I don't care who the quarterback was for Kevin O'Connell. You've got to run the ball. Oh, it's not working now. Let's just pass. No. Like, dude, this is submarining any chance that you would ever have to win a playoff game.
The short yardage again tonight. They did a brilliant job they got stuffed on 1 3rd and 1, but I think they were like 4 for 5 running the ball in those short yardages, including the naked boot touchdown run. Love that. And McCarthy does the gritty on the way into the end zone.
Yeah,
showing more swag than
takes
he
the
was just
ball.
quoted on that. He said, J.J. McCarthy on that goal line gritty.
Yep.
I did it in practice, and I was told not to do it. So me being who I am, it's like, now I'm more enticed to do it. I'll definitely get a minus for that one.
He's lashing out at the coaching staff
that is so
let him down
that
for
is so
a year and a half.
That is so passive aggressive right there.
It is.
That my first thought was O'Connell's going to hate that because you are literally exposing the ball. Like, God forbid,
if you kick that ball, like your
you could
thigh
drop
pad hits the ball and it goes out of bounds. Yeah, it was kind of dumb, but like
I was told not to do it.
Okay,
so now I'm more enticed to do it.
I'm going to tell you
he's
right now,
rebelling against the coaches.
The coach ain't laughing about that, right?
The coach needs to take a deep breath.
Well, I feel like
the coach
trying
needs to
to
calm down.
Stop. Clear your mind. Okay, just
clear your own
stop.
mind.
Clear your own mind, man.
Oh, it's funny.
For God's sakes.
Should we go back to the VL here, the vent line on the
Yeah.
Purple Daily YouTube channel?
Steven, what's going on, man? You're on Vikings Vent Line.
What's going on, guys? First and foremost, prayers for Chris Collinsworth losing Pat Mahomes for the rest of the season and most of next season. But
he'll find a new one. He'll
you
find
know,
a new
here's the guy.
Maybe he found one tonight. He might have found his new Mahomes tonight.
The divine is that coach, but he's playing so well. You know, I'm so excited to watch
we got to
him
get the
develop.
flag for McCarthy's first 200-yard passing game. Let's go. Can you find it? Can you find it?
I found it now.
Let's go.
There it is.
All right, I do have a bone I got to pick out with Judd, though. So this is kind of where I'm excited to be on.
Okay.
You mentioned, I believe, last week or 2 weeks ago, that you believe that KOC's already made up his mind. He has moved on from J.J. McCarthy in 2026. You say, go get Stafford. Here's my thing, okay? So going back to the Chiefs, they're missing out on the playoffs for the first time in 2014. And I get before Mahomes, it was Alex Smith, and they did well before him.
Mm-hmm.
But the Vikings have made the playoffs 5 times since 2014. They have 2 playoff victories in the time that the Chiefs have had their dynasty, if you will, okay? The Vikings want if they want the kind of playoff success as the Chiefs, you have to take the time to develop a quarterback. And I know you don't disagree with that take, but my thing is, you don't just go out and sign the easy option if you're Kwesi and KOC and go get a Mac Jones. Mac Jones isn't your answer. He's in a quarterback-friendly system in San Francisco where you're going to have to give up a second, third round pick to buy high and then pay the man Daniel Jones money. You know, if I went back and looked on PFF, and Mac Jones in his career ranks 43rd out of 75 quarterbacks in big time throw rate. So if KOC can only work with a veteran quarterback, my thing is you don't replace the quarterback, you replace the coach. And that might be a hot take in and of itself, but you have to find somebody who can work with this kid and mold this kid into something that he can be. I thought it was an interesting comparison on the broadcast when they were showing the side by side with the mechanics of Josh Allen and JJ McCarthy, both having that leg kick. Look what Allen turned into. And yes, he was awful the first couple of years. I bet you if you go look in Twitter or Facebook posts from Allen's first couple of years, all those fans were out. And yet here we are. We finally take a quarterback in the top 10, first time franchise history, and everybody wants to give up on the kid. And I don't believe in you have to move on from this kid and go get a veteran quarterback because that's what KOC is and that's what he's good at. If he can't develop him, we have a bigger problem. I know that when they look back at the draft film, they saw these mechanical problems. I don't think he was just throwing the ball the way that O'Connell wanted when they were looking at film before they took him with the 10th overall pick. So he'll have the entire offseason to work on those mechanics. He'll come into training camp, be able to work on those things. I think he needs more time with Justin Jefferson. The chemistry just doesn't seem quite right there. But I like the fact that they tried to get him the ball. If it wasn't for Josh Oliver's procedural penalty, he would have caught a touchdown. But he looks like he's having fun again. And moving on from McCarthy in the offseason is just not a good reflection on KOC.
Steven in Arizona.
I think
I'm not related to that guy. Everyone's saying that's my brother or cousin.
Yeah, you got
There's a large group that looks like you,
Declan's?
Declan. Yes. Like there's a very large group who are like, that's your brother. That's your
My mom
cousin.
said, because I was almost Seamus. I've told you that. I was almost Seamus. And I came out and Mom said, that's a Declan. So
And Seamus is not a bad
there is a
name.
look. There's a look. And I'm not a Seamus.
That's fine. Yeah.
So Steven called you to the carpet here, John.
Yeah, but then I don't disagree with one. My point is, I think Kevin O'Connell mentally would like to go for a veteran. Mac Jones has become too simple of name. I think that Kevin O'Connell, as I speculated on Hottest Take last week, I think he's going to seriously try to look for what he considers to be a veteran / QB. But Steven's point is 100% right. We can talk about his job. I mean, Kevin O'Connell, that's a problem. I think this entire season up until the last 2 games has been a major problem. And we've talked about it. There's no like good guy here. It's not like I'm on Team O'Connell. I've made that abundantly clear. And it's my opinion that, as I said earlier in the show, if Kevin O'Connell is going to work with McCarthy in the offseason and say, now we can go back to everything that KO wants to do, talking about himself in the third person, I think it's going to be a problem. And I think the Vikings are going to sniff around. They might not get one, but I think they're going to sniff around a major quarterback change, but it will be someone who O'Connell loves. They might get that player. They might not. But I just think that's the reality, because I never expected O'Connell to be this stubborn about what he does.
Yeah, I need like specific names like before. Okay, Stafford, the Stafford thing you threw out last week and the Burrow thing. All right, those are like future Hall of Fame quarterbacks. One of them is much different age than the other one.
Sure.
But if major quarterback or bigger name implies Kyler Murray, I am good. I don't like. I'd rather roll with another year of JJ McCarthy getting better like this, crescendoing.
Yeah.
The other thing, like we've talked a lot about the good throws and the big chunks and the 250 yards and the big numbers. To me, one of the most impressive things tonight against a Cowboys defense that leads the NFL in pressure rate, even after trading Micah Parsons, they lead the NFL in pressure rate.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't get sacked tonight. And the offensive line did a really good job, but so did McCarthy of kind of just avoiding some pressure in some spots. Even Kevin O'Connell calling some bootleg roll that would use the threat of the run, play action, bootleg out, give him some space to operate. Like I'm signing up for more of this before I'm trading a 3rd round pick for Mac Jones or going after a Kyler Murray or who. Burrow, different conversation. I'm okay. Let's do it. Let's talk.
And my hot takes are driven by covering O'Connell and how I think he thinks. And I have adjusted now too, because he was so stubborn. He was so incredibly stubborn. Well, like he should have done this months ago. Hell, he could have done this in training camp and said, you know what, I really can't. I mean, before training camp started, he could have drawn up his plan and said, you know what, we're going to have to adjust. I've seen JJ on film. I know how he plays. It does not fit with how I call plays, so I'm changing. But he didn't. So, like, are we suddenly going to think because of a 5-game sample size of things changing that he is going to now say, this is great, this is fine? That's not my sense. But yes.
You really think that like the last 2 weeks, he's done what his mentor, I don't know, this thing is like his ego, he might not actually consider Sean McVay a mentor, but Sean McVay is a mentor to Kevin O'Connell.
This is a great discussion. I don't know. Yes.
But Sean McVay has moved into different personnel tweaking of scheme, right? And this might be the best. This might be a better Rams team than the one that won the Super Bowl a few years ago, even without Aaron Donald. I guess we'll see in a couple months. But if you're Kevin O'Connell and you've made what I think is the most drastic change in terms of personnel usage that you've made, I think in 4 years, the last 2 weeks,
right?
You've gone much more away from 11 personnel into heavier personnel packages. And your young quarterback has thrived. The one guy being left out is Justin Jefferson, but whatever. Like, I think that'll figure itself out. And you're averaging over 30 points a game in these 2 games, small sample size. But if this continues to work at a pretty high level, why would you not keep doing it? Like, you're saying he won't keep doing the thing that's working. I just like, I give him, maybe I'm like naive. Maybe Positive Phil is like too naive.
The fact
I'm giving him the credit that, okay, he's figured this out late. But he's going to continue. Not that he won't ever go heavy 11 in certain matchups that make sense, but you don't think he's going to?
He didn't do it until all hope was lost. And basically the kid looked terrible. And I think he got talked to. I think somebody said, you have to feature this kid. Like, let's
promote
see what
that
he can
guy,
do.
Whoever that was.
Let's see what he can do. Well, I mean, just go back to the Packers game in Green Bay. What were they thinking? What were they doing? They threw this kid to the wolves knowing what they were doing to him. So am I going to buy into a 5-game, okay, all hope is lost, let's just see and think? I feel like he's being set up to get to the offseason where they will work on his mechanics and they will work on the things that they think will get him to a place where he can run the classic O'Connell offense. Hopefully I'm wrong. But, I mean, human nature of people doesn't really change all the time. And I do think that there is an ego about how he does things. And I'm just not convinced that he is going to continue this path. I hope he does. He should.
But like,
sure.
why can't it be, and I know this is kind of a rhetorical question because you've already stated how you feel.
Yeah.
Why can't it be that, all right, we finally got the car on the road, out of the garage. He wasn't good in the first 5 or 6 games, largely because, well, not a lot of quarterbacks are. Maybe he was on the worst end of that scale. But after 6, 7, 8, hopefully 9, 11, 12 games, oh, okay, yeah, there's some talent here. This guy can really sling it around the lot. And also parallel to that, this is the first time as a high-level coordinator or head coach that Kevin O'Connell, well, I guess as a quarterback's coach and a coordinator, he had a couple like young quarterback things back Washington. But like in the last 5 or 6 years, it's been all veterans for O'Connell until now.
Right.
And ideally, maybe he would have made some adjustments earlier, but he's maybe learning and knocking off some of the rust on his part too. And it took longer than everyone wanted. Everyone wanted the instant gratification, and we thought it was going to happen. But they're both kind of working their way through this. And like, why can't it be that? Why does it have to be that, oh, he's going to go back to his old ways and it's going to be a tire fire in 2026?
I hope you're right. I've just seen it go both ways before, and until I see it at the start of 2026. But my take is not based on McCarthy should be traded. My take is based on what I think that the Vikings will do. And we all know that if there's a chance also, the Wilfs love to make a splash. So I'm just putting out some caution here, okay? I'm not convinced that this is the reality of what they're going to do, even if I think it's what they should do. They don't listen to me. They never listen to me.
Now your ego is flaring.
I try to
up.
help
Look,
all
listen
these teams.
to
I try
you
to help
right
all
now.
these teams.
All right, let's go back to the Vent Lines here. Purple Daily YouTube channel.
Yeah, let's go to Trey next. Trey, what's going on, man? You're on Vikings Vent Line.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Just wanted to first show some love to the once every 3 years CJ Ham touchdown.
That's awesome, man.
One of my favorite things. I know our group always goes wild for me when it happens. But the one thing I like to talk about is the special teams. They talked about JJ for an hour, but this right tackle we got at punter somehow has had probably the greatest resurgence of any player we've seen. He was someone that I just was my least favorite player on the team for maybe 2 or 3 years, as long as he's been here. And for some reason this year, he has just been absolutely ridiculous. Lights out. Still think he should lose a couple pounds in the midsection, but that's a different conversation. And honestly, it's kind of sad when your team has to put out the special teams for the Pro Bowl little video. But I'm honestly, they're all deserving right now, and obviously the Paul is usually shooing, so we'll take that.
That little, yeah, that was a hilarious video that they put.
Oh, it was great.
Goofy
Yeah,
little barbershop acapella quartet
Kicker.
or trio, I guess.
Will Riker too. There's something about that dude that's funny.
He's just like this. I can't tell if he's in on the joke or not. He's this like stoic kind of nerdy guy. Like, have you talked to him at training camp?
A couple of times. My sense is he is very no nonsense with us, at least, which is not surprising. But I have no idea.
When he puts on that barbershop quartet thing and gets memed, does he think to himself that I'm going to get memed and this is hilarious and I want this? Or is he like, oh, they want me to put on this barbershop thing? And
I don't know. He's really serious because like when he nailed the 50, he's doing the point thing like on that McCarthy was doing. Did you guys notice that like on his helmet? So kickers are the weirdest.
But I mean, the dude is so good. Who cares?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
You go be weird. Just make 58-yard field goals like it's nothing. We'll take that.
Yeah, guy's a stud. All right, let's keep rocking here. Vikings Vent Line.
All right, let's go to Kyle. What's up, Kyle? You're on Vikings Vent
Hey,
Line.
what's up, guys? What's up, guys? So, all I want to say is, Judd, I agree with you. Something needs to change in the offseason in regards to like the quarterback competition. I think that's what the biggest mistake was this year. You didn't have anybody competing with them. You went into the season saying you're the guy, and Sam Howell, and then picked up Carson Wentz, and us barring a trade for Burrow or who else was it that we were thinking about? Don't want to go into Stafford. There you go. Don't want to go into Kyler Murray business. That's definitely not where we're at. But I think we need to keep developing them. We're on the right path. I think we're growing. The coach has been a little stubborn with the play calling. Y'all have been spot on with all of that. I appreciate everything you guys have been doing for the fans. We got a great fan base here. Y'all have built a great community. I love everything. I mean, y'all have inspired me to turn a shed into my personal, Vikings. And look at that.
Oh, that's great, man.
Look at that.
Is that from today?
AJ.
Yes, that's from today.
That's Mark Wilf?
Yes, sir. That's Mark Wilf with a huge smile on his face, greeting the first one.
Does that look like an owner who's ready to trade a third-round pick for Mac Jones, sports dad?
I've had that on pause for the last almost hour, waiting for to get on the show to show you guys. I mean, does that look like a guy that wants to trade the first over top 10 quarterback pick drafted in this franchise? I don't think so.
Yeah,
not for Mac Jones. Matthew Stafford.
We'll definitely say not for Mac Jones.
Matthew Stafford. We can talk.
Yes, Stafford.
Hey, Rams.
Joe Burrow. I mean, Mahomes. He's coming off an injury.
You could buy low on Mahomes. That's right. Listen, Chiefs, it was a good run for you guys.
Just one before we die, right, fellas?
Love the hoodie.
So, you know what, Kyle? You know what would look great? That's a great Vikings themed shed you got there. But I feel like to really finish it off, we could get you some bottles of Crybaby Craig's hot sauce.
I love it.
The vent of the night here on Purple.
Yes, I love it. It'll go great with the shed. I got the Jefferson. You know what? Depressing. I just noticed it. Putting all my jersey. Who was it that had the guy with the long hair and said we need to normalize hanging up the jerseys? That's what I did here with hanging up the jerseys. I've got all of the wide receivers other than Moss.
Wait,
I don't know what that was.
Oddly enough, I think it was McQueen who said
that. McQueen. Hey, there you go, buddy.
My man.
McQueen, we're gonna get back to you in just a second here. We want to give Kyle some hot sauce real quick here, Kyle.
Kyle, we're gonna give you some hot sauce, buddy. We're gonna give you a whole bunch of Crybaby Craigs. We're gonna give you the hot sauce, the honey hot sauce, the pow pow powder. We're gonna get you a hoodie. Kyle, email me back your address, your hoodie size, man, and we're gonna hook you up some Crybaby Craigs with the great call. Okay?
Let's go, y'all. Let's go, y'all.
Appreciate you, Kyle. And by the way, go to crybabycraigs.com, PD10. Perfect stocking stuffer. People are like, what am I going to put in the stocking? My wife's wondering, what am I going to put in her stocking? I'm probably going to fill it with Crybaby Craigs, okay? We'll probably share it together at breakfast like we usually do. But crybabycraigs.com, PD10 for 10% off. You can find it in your local grocery store as well. I put it on everything. I love me some Crybaby Craigs. It goes in your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, your Bloody Marys, whatever you want it to be. Crybaby Craigs, PD10 for 10% off.
Also, North American Banking Company is powering this episode of Vikings Vent Line on the Purple Daily YouTube channel. You can take that J.J. McCarthy performance to the bank. One of 6 metro locations here in the Twin Cities. North American Banking Company is Minnesota-based since the year that old number 84 came to town in 1998. And they give you sort of a community bank feel, a local, friendly, human feel to your banking, and also cutting-edge online tools. So whether it's checking and savings, or you're planning something bigger like buying a home or setting up a new business, North American Banking Company can help you with any of those things. nabankcode.com/Mackey to learn more. That's nabankcode.com/Mackey. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. And Dex, what's cooking on Underdog right now before we get back to some business here?
So many great things. Go to Underdog. You can get in the pick'em action. Plenty of awesome things. I had some nice wins today at Underdog. Go to Underdog and sign up promo code SCORE, SKOR. Play your first $5, $75 in bonus entries, cross-sport entries, notifications on it. They are so quick. That's how I figured out Mahomes tore his ACL. All of a sudden, I look down on my phone, and I get a notification from Underdog that Patrick Mahomes had torn his ACL. So they're giving you breaking news. They're giving you great other stuff, too. Go sign up with promo code SCORE at Underdog.
Okay, let's bring McQueen back into the conversation here. Our guy McQueen.
Our man.
Look, people shouting you out, just
love it.
Crazy, man. What's going on?
Oddly enough, my name is also Kyle, so shouts out to him. But I know it's been a bit of a Judd hate cast tonight, and it's not going to stop now.
Bring it on.
No. I can't do
McQueen.
my sports dad. Can't do my sports
Can't
dad
do
like
me
that.
like that. Okay.
I can't do it. I do want to encourage myself, Judd, and all Vikings fans around the world. When the vent line's done, maybe draw a nice bubble bath, put a robe on, eat a Snickers, let the Vikings fan neuroses kind of just wade to the background for a minute. And instead of giving you a hot take, I'm going to give you a 77 degrees and sunny, nice, just beautiful temperature, room temperature take here. Here's my view of the events of the season thus far. Let's go back to Judd's camp notes, of which I'm a massive fan.
Thank you.
JJ looked great. You know, there's issues here and there, but largely he looked very good in camp. So I think it made sense for Kevin O'Connell to think, like, okay, he can run the system. He's looked good. But you don't know what a guy's going to be in games until he's in the games, right? Didn't look good against the Bears to start the year, but then he leads the big comeback, 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. You're thinking, oh, this is great. Then you go into the Falcons game. Disaster. But you only have 1 day of actual practice. He missed it because of the birth of his child. And I do think this is, I can't confirm, it could go either way, but I kind of feel like Kevin O'Connell kept bringing up the missed practice more as like, hey, don't kill this guy for how bad he was. Like, there's a reason for it, as opposed to like being mad that he missed this practice. It could be a bit of both, but
Judd and I both think it's the opposite.
Yeah,
but
it probably is.
we'll
But
know.
I'm gonna try and give Kevin O'Connell a little bit of credit here. But then he's injured. He misses a bunch of games. Comes back. You beat the Lions. Haven't beat the Lions in their place in 5 years. So you're riding high. And then it's been up and down. And then it was real low down, pretty bad. But now JJ, he's 6 total touchdowns, 1 interception the last 2 games, well above 60% completion the last couple games. He had more passing yards than Dak did up until that last drive where the Cowboys needed to make something happen. So I think he's elevated to the next stage of in-game development. And I've been a Kevin O'Connell skeptic from day one, from like like he and I just do not view football the same at all. It just is what it is. But I think he's a great coach. Philosophically, I think I don't know what he's thinking. But from my perspective, I could see how up until last week, in his mind, he's still thinking like, well, we saw good things and I saw him run the system in camp. I think he's a stubborn guy, but I don't know that this is all him being stubborn. And I think there's a better chance than some people want to give him credit for that he's willing to meet him halfway, because that's what you got to do. And there's been enough to say like, okay, I need to make some adjustments. And he's leveling up. I think you get into camp, even if I would start him next year, I would bring in Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't think you guys have talked about him at all. He's a free agent, but he all the years with Shanahan, 2 years with McVay, he knows the broader system. He's a capable starter, but he's not a guy like Aaron Rodgers where it's like you bring him and you have to start him. But I think there's a decent chance that they'll get to the offseason and they might come into next season and throw him back into what Kevin O'Connell wants to do just to see if he can do it now after a full offseason. But I think there's a decent chance here that it's not as easy as people think it is to just figure it all out and like know, if you're JJ, know how to play as a pro, and if you're Kevin O'Connell, to know exactly how to coach this guy until you're in the games having to coach him. And I think the injuries interrupted it a lot. So I just think we got to give both of them some grace. I think people were starting to give McCarthy some grace. I think we got to give Kevin O'Connell some grace that he's trying to figure out the best way to approach this. And I mean, if Burrow's available, then like you got to make the call. But like, we don't need Mac Jones. We don't need these other guys. Like, let's bring someone in to push JJ, not necessarily to compete with him. And let's just keep rolling, baby. It's all out in front of us. We're gonna win 12 Super Bowls in the next 10 years. That's the hot take.
Can't wait for that. Yeah.
That's going to be a miracle, a mathematical miracle.
You think it's not mathematically possible, but if you really think about it, it is. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Queen, good stuff, dude.
See
We'll
ya,
talk to you
McQueen.
again sometime soon.
She's great.
I love it. Just bring in straight, level-headed, room temperature takes there immediately after a Vikings 34-26 win. We'll keep our eye on any more post-game press conference fodder here that might be relevant. But who's next on Vikings Vent Line, Dex?
Hope it's us. Oh, it is us.
It is you. Morgan and Buck. What's
I
going
hope
on?
It's us.
North Stars.
Hi.
So we're in Santa Barbara here,
California.
Santa Barbara, California. In
Right
fact, our relationship is based on the Vikings.
Not fully, but also
But,
Minnesota North Stars.
Anyway, wanted you guys to see this. Is not a Packers fan.
No,
She's
I
in
hate
fact got an old
Packers.
North Stars jersey on.
Yeah.
I'd probably appreciate that.
Judd approved. Judd approved.
Judd approved.
Okay.
Love that.
we got a couple of Vikings jerseys here going. And Judd, look at these guys here. You got Neil Broughton, Dino
wow.
Cicerelli.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
Yeah,
Judd
Miracle on
will
Ice.
be on the next flight.
Yeah.
Judd
Yeah,
will be on the next
Santa
flight.
Barbara. See you guys.
But we wanted to talk about how McCarthy wasn't passing, or his passes to Jefferson.
Well, that's the big concern for me is like
great
you
cut.
can't really run this offense if you're not getting Justin Jefferson the ball, and that's a real concern for me. I worry about that connection because I mean, there's no way we're gonna have an NFL. We're gonna have a quarterback that can't pass the ball to the best receiver in the league, and I think that's a major concern going forward. The other thing in general is that even though McCarthy looked really good tonight, I mean, you look at Dak across the other side. I mean, there's just another level.
Okay. He was upsetting the fucking beginning.
Okay, but
too. Very upsetting.
Can't say that. You're going to get them.
Oh,
Yeah, we're all fired now. Thanks a lot.
We all just lost our show there.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry about
I
that.
thought it was hot takes.
You're supposed to.
Still can't say on hot takes.
Been trying to keep her under control all game, but
Yeah.
bottom line is
Big
though,
fan.
that you can't really the Wilfs are not going to be happy about this issue with with the Jets not being able to get the ball. And at the end of the day, he may be playing pretty well, but if you look at the quarterbacks who are really winning in this league, he's really not there yet. I hope he is in a couple of years, but I mean, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world to think about putting him as a backup for another year. I mean, look at Jordan Love and look at Aaron Rodgers. All these guys sat for a few years and they become great quarterbacks. So I don't think that's the worst thing in the world for him.
I don't remember who his name was, but who was just before said, like, not somebody to compete against, but to be with as a quarterback. I thought that was a really good point, because I think McCarthy can be that amazing. We saw amazing
Well,
throws.
it might be 2-3 years from now is the problem, and I don't think the Wilfs are going to wait.
Well, okay, you guys, awesome stuff. Morgan and Buck, the ode to the old school North Stars.
North Stars was
too.
great. F-bomb not great, but the North Stars ode was fantastic.
It's all right. We can clean up.
We can live with an F-bomb.
It's late in the night here. It's not FCC regulated. So
hold on a second. I didn't know about this. Well, hold on one effing second.
So let's get into the Jefferson thing real quick here.
Yeah.
Because this isn't about stat padding for one guy. It's about now when they were not able to score points and get first downs and move the ball, and Jefferson's not getting the ball. It's like, okay, well, the key to scoring points is to unlock your best offensive player. But they have found a way to score, 65 points in the last 2 weeks without Justin Jefferson really producing at all. Now, the second layer to that is Jefferson's presence is a factor in opening up other areas of the passing game, maybe even the run game, that lead to the 65 points in 2 games. So I think long term, if you're going to be paying that much money for a guy to basically be a schematic disruption that only catches 2, 3, or 4 passes, that's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't come away from these last 2 games thinking, oh my God, this is all broken because Justin Jefferson's not getting the football. I don't care about that. I care about the offense operating at a high level. And if he isn't the centerpiece of that, I mean, I guess that's a secondary problem you'd have to sort of figure out at some point, because then he's going to get pissed and want to produce more.
Yeah.
But I don't I'm not here rooting for Justin Jefferson's stats number 1 over wins and offensive productivity.
I care about a long term, but we're literally. I mean, we went in week 14. We went back to the drawing board. So you literally went back to training camp and said, here's what we're going to do. So yeah, if we're going to get hung up on, there's a lot of things that will change. There's a lot of things that need improvement. Some of them O'Connell will probably insist upon, despite the fact that we could have a debate about if they're really necessary to tweak or not. But Justin Jefferson's involvement, and if you do look at the targets tonight, he had a ton of targets. He dropped a couple passes, but this is not a finished product. We're just starting to see what the potential is when you don't put the restrictor plates on the kid. And first and foremost, when you tweak your scheme and also don't have him thinking. But I just feel like we are literally, the simplest way I can put this is we're back at a point of saying, we need to find out what you can do. So we're not going to worry about your enormous your back leg kick on throws, right? And we're not going to be concerned constantly about, are you getting Justin the ball or not? Mm-hmm. You are just trying to find out. You're spending 5 games right now, in my opinion, trying to find out how much you can trust McCarthy. And he is showing things within what they're doing now that you can trust him. But I mean, there's a ton of conversations here. And Justin's definitely one of them.
The last 2 weeks, how many times has McCarthy dropped back and you thought to yourself, oh, he doesn't know what he's looking at or doesn't know where to go with the ball? Very few. That's the most impressive thing is, take Jefferson out of it for a second, because I feel like it'll straighten itself out. If McCarthy knows what he's looking at and he's making the right decisions and he continues to hone his mechanics and accuracy, why wouldn't he then start to click with probably the best wide receiver in the league? But that's been the thing that stands out to me is there's been times in these first, 8 games earlier in the season where I'm not sure he knows what he's looking at the defense, but that has not been the case the last 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. Christian Ponder didn't know what he was looking at 20 games into his career. Oh, first read's not there. Oh my God, I need to bail and run. Right. He's nervous. Right. McCarthy looks calm, mostly poised, eyes downfield, chunking the ball down the field. And I think at some point with all of that, the Jefferson thing will click. So we'll see. Let's go back to the Vent Lines here. Purple Daily YouTube channel.
Yeah. Justin, what's going on? An insane, awesome man cave there. What's going on, dude?
Hey, Judd, you should know this guy right here. Bud Grant.
Oh, yeah, Bud Grant. Yep.
Mackey, awesome. Big fan. O-line committee been following those guys. All the people need to get JJ some time. He's not forcing the ball down to Jefferson, try to get interceptions. He leading the defense. Hawkinson for 5-10 yards. Resets the down. We don't need the quarterback to farm 50 yards. What we did Commander game. I would add the Commander game. The 10-minute plus drive was awesome. Gave our defense enough time to relax, restart, except for not having out there like the Seattle game. And plus, I will get quick trip, guys. Awesome place.
Oh, awesome, man.
Awesome, man. Justin,
That's great.
Awesome.
Thank you for the kind words about us and our sponsors. Yeah, the 10 play drive against it was actually a 19 play drive against the Commanders. There's been some crazy peaks in McCarthy's season. The fourth quarter comeback, Bears. The Lions game at Detroit. The 19 play, 98 yard drive that he helped orchestrate with the help of some good play calling and run game and all those things. And then tonight, Sunday Night Football at Dallas. A lot of these games that Kevin O'Connell's teams have come up very short in these big primetime matchups where the world is watching.
The third quarter drive tonight, to me, that concluded with the C.J. Ham touchdown run was the definitive drive. Like, it was the full McCarthy experience. That great pass, a great pass to Hawkinson. He then comes back and airmails Jefferson on a play in which Justin was open. Then he makes that great 23-yard throw on 4th and 3 to Jalen Naylor. Then he throws a laser to Jefferson at the Dallas 4. Like, there's just, that to me was the drive that sort of encapsulated like all of the strengths and some of the problems. But it feels like most of these games where something good has happened, there's been a drive that's sort of the definitive J.J. McCarthy drive. And it might not all be perfect, but it certainly shows his potential.
Yeah. Yeah, the first throw of that drive, or the first big connection before the miss to Jefferson, that was another just a dart to Hawkinson over that second level of the defense, but underneath the safety. Oh my gosh.
In an 85.6 QBR for J.J. McCarthy tonight out of 100.
Wow.
So a pretty much flawless game.
Rush for a touchdown,
from a QBR standpoint.
Absolutely.
And that includes
So
a pick. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty impressive.
There's a chance he may no longer be last in some of these categories on the Tuesday State of the
Steven
Vikings
Ruiz.
rankings.
Start buying your stock.
Moving on up.
Start moving up.
29, 28.
Yeah.
Hey,
let's keep rocking here. Late into the night, Vikings Vent Line, Purple Daily YouTube channel. Still over 5,100 of you hanging out with us, and we're going to keep rocking here. Vikings win.
Mike, what's going on, man? You're on Vikings.
Hey,
Vent Line.
what's up, man?
What's up?
I've been waiting to talk to y'all forever, dude. I've been sitting on here all night. I'm a Vikings fan from South Carolina. My dad's from Minnesota, dude. I watch y'all guys habitually. I don't watch y'all. I listen to y'all. So I tend windows for a living. Y'all are in my ear every day. So like Flagrant Howls. I haven't gotten into. So I'm a Vikings fan, diehard Vikings fan. Got into basketball 2 years ago, and got into that, and then haven't gotten into baseball just yet. But Flagrant Howls.
You may want to check out Judd's Hockey Show after the Wild made one of the biggest trades in recent NHL history.
So my dad is dying for me to get into it, and you know what? So he conned me into being a Vikings fan, right? So I've been miserable for my last, So I became a Vikings fan. When I became a Vikings fan, I was sitting in my Dale Earnhardt race car bed. And I watched Wide Left. In my Dale Earnhardt race car bed, I watched Wide Left. And but that year's like, I was like, oh, the Vikings are great, dude. We just blow everybody out. Everything's so good. And it was like, oh, it's just, next year it's gonna be good. Next year it's gonna be good. And then we had, 2000. We had Brett Favre. And then there's hope, and then hope comes again. But I'll say this, dude, I gave up on J.J. McCarthy twice this year, and I didn't say it in public, but personally I did. In my heart, I gave up on him, and then I was back into him. And you know what, dude, J.J. McCarthy, like, he kind of has it, dude. Like he's that guy every now and again, and like I'm just hoping he can be that guy consistently going forward. His connection with Jalen Naylor is crazy to me. Like he drops dimes to Jalen Naylor, but then he's got today he had JJ like wide open over the middle. I'm like, if JJ catches this is to the house, and it's like he just right over his head. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude. I love the kid so much. Like I've hated him and loved him so much, man. But I think he has it. I do. I don't know if him and JJ need to just like get together and just like, hey, let's just, like old school, like back middle school, like when I was playing ball, just like, hey, everybody left. Let's just stay and throw balls together all day so we can figure this out. Because I don't get it. Because he's got it with Naylor. Dude, with Naylor, he knows exactly where Naylor is all the time. And now Naylor looks like a number one wide receiver here. But you have the best football player in the entire world, and y'all just can't get it. I just want y'all to get it. And I love the Vikings so much, dude. We've done a lot, man. I don't know, dude. I just want
Appreciate you, Mike. Mike, do appreciate you, man. Yeah. Mike holding it down there in South Carolina, and any references to late 90s NASCAR, man, that is I was also a huge Dale Earnhardt fan growing up. In fact, Dale Earnhardt won the Daytona 500, I think, in 1998. So if you were a Dale Earnhardt fan and a Vikings fan in 98, things were going great until January of 1999. Then things went out the road. By the way, in honor of Mike, cheers to Mike.
Cheers to Mike.
These Pendleton Whiskey 10-year stadium anniversary bottles are available inside your local liquor store. And if they're not, you go respectfully shame them into making them available just for you. Because Pendleton Whiskey is not just poured, it's earned, just like in Minnesota. Things aren't given in Minnesota. You earn things in Minnesota, and that's the same spirit behind Pendleton Whiskey, a proud partner of the Minnesota Vikings. So when the clock hits zero, whether you're celebrating a hard-earned victory like tonight or holding your head high after a hard-fought loss, there's only one whiskey for the moment, and it's Pendleton Whiskey, 2025 Pendleton Distillers, ProximoSpirits.com. Please drink responsibly. Also, a shout-out to MSP Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning here, Judd.
It has been brutal. These last, 3 days or so have been absolutely terrible. And it reminds Sports Dad of a time back a few years ago when guess what happened? It was like this outside, and whose heater went on the fritz? That's right, mine. And so what did I do? I quickly called my friends at MSP Plumbing, Heating, and Air. It was on a Saturday. They were at my house in no time and made the fix right away. And guess what? My house was all nice and toasty and safe again. And that's because MSP is absolutely one of the best in the business. They're also the local or your local carrier dealer. MSP and carrier, a winning combination. If you have any questions about your heater right now, if you think, you know what, it's not really firing as efficiently as it should be, give them a call, 651-615-4292, or check out their website, callmsp.com. Call msp.com and find out what I did, which is these people are outstanding.
Vent Line also presented by SeatGeek tonight, Dex.
Yeah, go download the SeatGeek app. It is in the App Store. It is in the Google Play Store. And when you are looking for your next sporting event, your next concert, comedy show, Broadway show, whatever it is, Purple 10 for 10% off any tickets at SeatGeek. You can download again on the App Store, Google Play Store, and yeah, whether you want to see the Purple, you want to go to the Meadowlands, you want to go see them play the Giants this weekend, you can do that. Want to see them at US Bank Stadium? We got a couple more cracks at that, obviously, before the season ends too. So Purple 10 for 10% off any tickets.
Okay,
you're a professional.
There's the on button right there. Yeah.
It's happened to all of us, I guess.
It's touche. It's fine. It's a fine poke back. Let's go back to the Vent Lines here. Purple Daily YouTube channel.
From one Phil to another Phil. Phil, what's going on, man? You're on Vent Line.
Hey, thank you for having me. Phil, Dex, Judd, you guys are great. JJ gave us just enough tonight to hopefully make the Vikings not make the biggest mistake they've made in a decade, which would be moving off from him rather than letting him have the time to develop. And KOC also did enough in his adjustment to play calling and playing to JJ and playing to his players rather than his system tonight to show us the growth that we hope to see from him going forward into next year. I believe KOC is a great head coach. His traits, his personality, his leadership are awesome. His play calling sometimes leaves some to be desired, but in the balance of things going forward, I think he made the right step and JJ made the right steps to get us where we need to go, which is not bailing on JJ. It is embracing JJ and going forward with JJ. And you know what? A couple weeks ago, before the Commanders game, we were looking at if JJ goes over 5, we're out on JJ. And I tried to get on the show actually to try to predict that we're going to win 2 of these games going forward, and we already have, short of the Giants game, because that was going to be my number 2. Hopefully, for that to be my next. But we're already there. We've already won 2. And I think we're going to beat the Giants. I think it's not going to hurt us in the draft that much. You know, it's been one of the biggest problems with us in the several years prior of not realizing when it's time to take our medicine and embrace that we need to go into the draft and not spend resources or not trade away resources that we have had, like Daniel Hunter, to get things that we could build with. But going forward, we look pretty good. Our draft has been overly critically, we've been overly critical of the Vikings drafts recently. We've seen a lot of players go elsewhere and actually be pretty good. And our development and our usage of players has been a little bit shaky. But KOC has shown, and Judd, I know you're like, oh, KOC can't do this, KOC do this. KOC has shown a little bit of willingness to adjust a little bit and meet JJ, like I all said, a little bit like halfway or leading into him. I think we're looking great for the future, guys. And thank you for having me. You guys do a great job. If I can, 1 second.
We got a dog.
Oh,
we got a dog.
We got a
animal.
couple dogs.
We got a dog.
I'm about to say.
Come here, baby.
That's a handsome.
Oh.
Look at that.
Oh, it's my baby girl.
Oh, who's a good girl?
Who's
No,
tired?
it's my
My
belly.
Leia bean.
She's tired.
Oh.
I can tell you that right now.
She's tired of me being up listening to y'all. But
Time for a
you
snooze.
guys,
She's like, go to.
great job. Thank you.
Happy holidays, man.
Thanks,
Phil,
man.
thanks for coming on.
Come on, Phil. Dad, go to bed, huh?
Who's a good girl? You know, to his
doggy's
point
tired.
about basically like, hey, things aren't terrible here despite how bad the season has felt. Well, I know there's some people that would love to just rack up the losses here, and the Vikings are showing some fight. And I guess if you're looking at the long term of Kevin O'Connell and JJ McCarthy, like if the team quits and they lose a bunch of games, yes, it helps your draft positioning, but now do you have a problem with the locker room quitting on a coach? And now you got bigger problems than your draft positioning. Well, they're still fighting. I'm excited to see the whatever they do with the post-game locker room speech. They've been editing some of those down a little bit.
Yeah.
But if they beat the Giants without any other wins, all right, that's 7. Like if in your train wreck seasons you're still getting to 7 wins, that's a decent sign for a coach, an operation to find a silver lining. At some point, you got to win some playoff games, and you got to win one before we die, like the big one. But they're definitely headed for. This is the second kind of train wreck season, injuries or whatever it is, in the 4 years of Kevin O'Connell. At the peak, he's 13, 14 wins, and he takes the train wrecks to like borderline 500, which is, I think, a pretty good sign.
Yeah, the issue though, and just for the sake of this conversation, let's put JJ McCarthy on the back burner. The issue is, I disagree with Phil. I don't think the drafts have been like okay. Like I think they've been, very, very worrisome. And you don't have, like to go back to a conversation that we've had a few times on the show, you don't have now that talent that should be there, and you tried to backfill it with veteran free agents. So could the Vikings bounce back and win 13 games in 2026? Absolutely, they could. But like, I think there's somewhere to get in between, like as far as the future of the franchise, between being completely out, which to your point, Phil, I never expected them to quit. But like there have been no signs. It's been a frustrating year and the McCarthy thing, but there have been no signs that they were about to go full, we're done. Like we don't care. Like I saw at least 4 games today where teams had just quit. And I mean, that's really difficult to watch because they literally are just tapping out. The Vikings weren't going to do that. But do I think that the drafts are fine? No, I don't. It's unfortunate, but I don't.
Yeah, I think he's referring to like some of the player, Mekhi Blackman, who've gone on to, or even like Ed Ingram. Although Ed Ingram has fallen, that story about after 4 weeks, Ed Ingram has been falling down the PFF boards. Just
yes. And you didn't hold on to Blackman, so like, okay, great. He went to the Colts. You screwed the pooch on that one. You traded Andrew Booth Jr. to Dallas and got Nashawn Wright back, who's had a great year for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
So your evaluation needs to be questioned.
Yep. And if it's not a drafting problem, then it's some other development or disconnect between like the coaching staff didn't want the players that were drafted or couldn't develop them. There's some disconnect. Maybe it's not just a drafting problem, but there's like a pipeline of young talent problem that's got a clog in it. So we've already done the MSP, plumbing, heating, and air read. Otherwise, I would have connected that in there. But let's go back to the vent lines here. Purple Daily YouTube channel.
All right. Hannah, what's going on? You're on Vikings Vent Line.
Hey guys, Skull from Dallas.
Nice.
My wife and I wanted to come down and go to an opposing stadium to see the game. Never would have thought we'd come out with the win. It was great. It was awesome. The fans, we had probably 40% Vikings fans in there. It was purple everywhere.
It's awesome.
It was wild. Skull chant got a little off every once in a while, but hey, here we go. But celebrating with some Whataburger and fly home tomorrow.
Yeah,
Love
very
that.
Nice.
All right. So the vibe was Vikings. Dallas fans are kind of selling their tickets, huh?
Yeah, there was tons of Vikings fans.
That's awesome.
Yeah, purple everywhere. The skull chant was very wrong, but
yeah,
it was awesome.
The timing on the skull chant was rough, but
didn't work out, huh?
We can
It's
work
hard
on it.
in that place. You know, the big jumbotron
You
messes
guys
with
got
the
to practice.
acoustics. It's
This is the problem. Just like with KO, you got to practice the skull chant more and like have it down.
Hey, we have it down. I got it figured out, but
Love it.
Well, enjoy the remnants of Whataburger and safe travels back, and appreciate you popping on and representing Purple Daily and the Vikings in Dallas.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Bye.
All right, have a good night.
Safe travels.
Awesome. Man, a lot of check-ins from Dallas. Let's keep rocking here on Vikings Vent Line, Purple Daily YouTube channel.
Hey, Dan, what's up, man? You're on Vikings
up?
Vent Line.
How you doing? I'm a Vikings fan from Long Island. I actually went to the Vikings-Ravens game in Minnesota. I went to the Timberwolves game on the Friday night before.
Nice.
And I'm planning on going to the Vikings-Giants game next weekend. And I'm a huge fan. I predicted JJ's stat line before with my brothers. They didn't believe me. They thought I was crazy. And I sent a screenshot to Declan, actually. And I just want to say I got the shirt out in Minnesota. I'm a huge JJ fan. Never gave up on him. And Judd, can you wave the flag, please?
Sure.
Yeah, I think we should get that flag. It's been a
It's
minute.
been a while.
Yeah, it's been like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep. There's
But-
the blessing right there.
Yeah. Randy Moss is my favorite player. I caught that tail end of his career. I became a huge fan of him at 1 year on the Patriots in 2007. Just followed him ever since, and then became a Vikings fan after.
Awesome, man. Dan, thanks for checking in. Appreciate you. That JJ McCarthy shirt. F yeah.
F yeah.
Let's keep rocking here. Who is next on Vikings Vent Line?
Yeah, a few more left here. Let's go to Sam. Sam, what's going on, man? You're on Vikings Vent
Hello.
Line.
First of all, we should mention
all of Minnesota sports tonight. The Quinnesota Wild plus the
Quinnesota.
Timberwolves plus the Vikings.
Yeah, it was a good night, huh?
It
was
was
a perfect night.
Good
Yeah,
weekend.
I can't hear anybody but Phil right now. But
so wait, you can just hear me?
I can literally just hear.
Oh,
Phil.
this is great. Then we can just have a conversation. We can just ignore
take a nap.
the other two. Yeah.
Let's go to bed.
Well,
See you.
good because I wanted to call out Judd for a little bit right now.
Yes.
Phil, what is the number one rule of journalism?
Why is this person lying to me?
Why is Judd saying that the Minnesota Vikings are thinking that they need to move off of JJ McCarthy? That is clearly Judd's opinion, and he just wants to hide behind the Minnesota Vikings front office. And he can admit that he's wrong if he wants, but he's trying to play both sides.
So you're saying Judd is taking his opinion and trying to sort of like create separation by
I'm not.
accrediting it to.
Wait,
sorry, we
wait,
can't
wait,
hear-
wait.
Oh, I can't hear you either. Now.
Wait,
I
wait,
don't
wait.
know.
I got to respond
sorry.
here. That's
What's he
ridiculous.
saying? I can't hear it.
That's ridiculous. What I am saying is
I can only hear Phil.
Hold on, Sam can't hear you. Let's Sam. If you have any final points, we'll take them, and then we'll let Judd rebuttal your point.
My only point, I'll have to watch this later on YouTube to hear Judd's opinion. But my opinion is that Judd is just trying to hide behind the Vikings front office, and his actual opinion is that he gave up on JJ McCarthy. This hit me when you tried to play the music and Judd couldn't find his flag. He was real slow.
Wow. Yes.
He was real slow to grab it.
Real unenthusiastic, I might add.
He's out on JJ McCarthy, but he doesn't want the fans to hate on him for it.
Oh, I don't care if they hate on me.
This is my favorite conspiracy theory.
Since when do I care? Yeah, but there's a flaw.
Thanks, Sam.
Sam. You're young. Listen to me.
When
you first of all, to say that I don't want the fans to hate on me is ridiculous because like I love it. So like it's one of my pleasures in life. But what I have said is what I sense from O'Connell. I have also said Judd is a what is that?
Judd's a plant. He's a plant. Vikings front office.
Tell him that. No. What I have said is, with the way that O'Connell has treated McCarthy until now, it very much leads me to believe that they are going to be eyeing other options. I have also said that Kevin O'Connell should have adjusted weeks ago. JJ McCarthy, I in no way, shape, or form am giving up on the 10th overall pick in a draft. But do I think that the Vikings are going to stand pat, no questions asked, based on what took place in these last 5 games? No, I can't guarantee that at all. So, no. You've got it all wrong. There's a very weird thing because I've given my opinion about what I think the Vikings think, that I hate McCarthy. I'm the guy who said the kid had the it factor in training camp.
Yeah.
I don't know if they give up on him, then I was ultimately really wrong because I went through training camp singing the kid's praises. But have I seen like you cannot take what we saw from week 1 till about week 13 and dismiss it. Now, perhaps Phil is right. Perhaps that Kevin O'Connell has found God and said, you know what, I'm changing everything. I'm changing how I think so that JJ can thrive. Well, he's changing a large part of how he thinks plays should be called. But there's this weird thing like that. I think that McCarthy should be released or something. It's a very odd thing. I'm telling you, and I'm going to tell you something else, and everyone's going to laugh again, and they're going to make comments, and that's fine because I don't mind if you don't like me. But here's something else. And Dex brought this up, and let's just say I've checked with sources during the course of this show in Dallas. I won't reveal my sources. But JJ McCarthy, as far as anyone can tell, very frontally did say, they told me not to carry the ball in like that for the gritty.
Sequence.
And I did it anyway. That is a F you right back to a lot of people.
Let me give the rest of that context. So, yeah, Seifert from ESPN tweeted out, low-key wild post-game sequence. Kevin O'Connell, in his own way, made clear he did not like J.J. McCarthy's gritty-like celebration while scoring in the second quarter. McCarthy said he did it in practice and was told not to do it in the game, which made him more determined to do it. And Kevin used the wide eyes emoji. McCarthy, quote, I did it in practice and I was told not to do it. So just me being who I am, it's like, oh, now I'm more enticed to do it. But if it's that open, obviously just get into the end zone no matter what and be coachable and do what my coach says.
But he didn't. And I don't even.
Oh man!
I'm just telling you, in my sense is that is a rebuttal from McCarthy for weeks of what he considered to be less than veiled shots taken at him.
I agree.
So
I think educated, speculative opinion.
Veteran reporter.
I don't think Kevin O'Connell and the offensive coaching staff and JJ McCarthy have been harmoniously all on the same page throughout this whole process.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good to see them all working through it and scoring 65 points in 2 games. And end of take.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. But I also think that, again, it's interesting that you are 22. And look, you're 22, so I'm sure, lots of 22-year-old guys are punks. But you decide, after being told specifically not to do something by your head coach, you're like, screw it, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
And then saying it is
I know,
in
it's
that
wild.
way is
But
he's definitely.
But you guys, this goes back to the mispractice in week 2, which he took a shot at O'Connell after that by saying, we'll plan the pregnancy better next time. He said something about the fact that we won't have the kid during the season next time. It's just all very interesting.
And they're, and there's video, KO and McCarthy, or I'm not saying they're like at each other's throats or that they hate each other or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
They're hugging in the locker room or whatever. But I do think both of those guys have big time egos.
Mm-hmm.
They're big alpha football guys.
Mm-hmm.
And you can still have like a good relationship and kind of be, but you're gonna poke me? I'll poke you a little bit. That's how I took the whole thing. It's more of like kind of harmless, I think, than I don't think it signifies that there's like some irreparable crack in the base here. But it is an interesting little glimpse behind the curtain.
You know what? If this was like the first or second one, I'd be like, I guess I would agree completely with you. The issue is it's just sort of been a litany of things. It's something to monitor. And again, it's something like if this was as harmonious as it should be, I would be inclined to agree with you that Kevin O'Connell will continue to go down a path that's going to make McCarthy be as successful as possible. I'm not totally convinced, and this doesn't help me.
Yeah, it's interesting. Just we can file it under the that was interesting, Ben.
Exactly.
For now.
Exactly.
All right, Dex, let's go back to the Vent Lines here. Purple Daily YouTube channel.
All right, a couple more to wrap up. Let's go to Coach King. Coach King, what's going on, man? You're on Vikings Vent Line.
This is actually Coach King right here, guys. Thanks a lot.
There he is.
A restaurant?
Judd and Phil, appreciate you. We're out here in Oregon. Hey, got a couple things you want to talk about. First of all, let's not take away the appreciation of being spoilers right now at this point in the league. Like taking out Dallas for the Herschel Walker trade. There's always some points we can gain back for that, and we got a lot of games, a lot of upsets we got to do to accomplish that. And also, we got to figure out, we had kicker woes for years, and almost a generation, and now we got this Will Riker kid kicking. He basically hasn't missed a field goal all season except for some wire interference issues. But we got to look at, is Joe for real? Are we getting Joe? And this is actually Coach King right here. But I came on. I used him to get on again. And so, this is Viking guy, Jim Marshall. Jim Marshall, HOF. Let's go.
Does Coach King have any takes?
my take is I wonder how we ended up with an undrafted rookie as our backup quarterback with an unproven rookie quarterback. Who made that call in the organization?
It wasn't supposed to be that way.
Yeah, thank you guys for holding it down in Oregon. Awesome setup there too. Yeah, I mean Wentz was the backup and then he died, and so then an undrafted rookie came in. We actually witnessed it on Thursday Night Football.
Oh God. That was a long time.
Yeah, Brosmer was not supposed to be. He was not the plan.
But
he's supposed to be the 3.
Right, but even within that, if you want to go back to kind of
Kevin
O'Connell's process and the someone in the organization, someone who was in meetings with the TV production crew, which is not a very big list of people. It would be like Kevin and maybe a couple other staffers.
Sure.
Pumped Max Brosmer's tires so aggressively throughout a 2-week period that Greg Olson laughed to himself at the beginning of the broadcast in Seattle and said, I mean, you talked to enough people in the organization the last couple weeks and they really like Brosmer. He didn't quite say it, but like maybe more than McCarthy is what he wanted to say. You could tell, right?
Oh yeah, and that's another
pumping
weird.
That to Greg. Greg Olson
well,
didn't just decide that on his own.
And that also fits into the bin. Like, what was the why?
What was
why,
that all about?
Why were
Yeah.
you doing that? Because yes, they 100%. Somebody was trying to insinuate that Max Brosmer might be better than McCarthy.
Yes.
That's
Which maybe that winds up being true at some point. But
an undrafted free agent against your 10th pick is odd.
Yeah.
Very odd.
Looks like Ryan is just kind of chilling in there next on Vent Line.
All right, Ryan.
Hello,
Take us home,
gentlemen.
buddy.
What's up, Ryan?
Hey, I was just thinking about Dallas Turner and how at the start of the season, especially last year, everyone was sitting there talking crap on Dallas Turner and how he's a bust and he sucks. And over the last couple of weeks, especially the back half of the season, he's really turned it on. I mean, the last 2 he hasn't jumped off the stat sheet too much, but I feel like he's all over the field. He kind of reminds me of like Eric Kendricks his first couple of years, where he's always around the ball. He's always right there. He always feels like he's a step or two away from the quarterback. And it's I know Vikings fans have a lot of things to hate about this year, but I feel like ever since Dallas Turner's turned it on, all of them have just magically stopped talking about Dallas Turner sucking and being a bust and Kwesi needs to be fired, which he does, but...
By the way,
but not
was
because
that your roundabout point? Which, by the way, he should be fired.
Ryan, awesome, man.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, Dallas Turner has definitely had a much, much better last like 6 or 7 weeks than the first year and a half of his career. And he's not a bust. He's not a bust. I think the question becomes at some point, is he going to be that consistent high-end, get after the quarterback threat that he was drafted to be? And he's shown some flashes of that. It's good.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he starts the last, 3 games now, because I think Grenard looked like he suffered a pretty serious injury there. So
yeah,
I'm going to guess that Grenard, Darisaw get shut down. At least those two.
Yeah, and that's actually another credit to McCarthy. McCarthy did that tonight without Darisaw.
Yeah.
So at some point you got to be able to perform with less than ideal circumstances around you, and like that's a good example. Hey, your left tackle's out. Go figure it out. But you're right. Dallas Turner probably gets the start for the last 3 games.
The thing that impressed me the most, though, to circle back, is the fact that McCarthy on his first pass threw a pick, and it ended up going for 7 points. He could have fallen apart right there, like that, like he previously did, and that's where I thought, oh my God, this is going to be a long night, right?
Yeah.
And he came back, and he was fine, good, really good. So, like, to me, it's not a good thing that he threw a pick or that the Cowboys scored a touchdown, but I do think it's a very instructive thing, because like the mentality of how do you bounce back from that? Because if you go into a shell then and cower, it's a big problem. I feel like a month ago, it would have been a real problem. Like that would have defined his game. In this case, it became one play, one problem, and it was done.
Yep. Boys, we're going to give our final thoughts here and kind of set up the rest of the week here on Purple Daily, where it should be, going into the Giants game now. Like now you're, I think, probably favored in that game. And I mean, the playoffs are cooked because you were mathematically eliminated, but your chances to at least like build something into 2026 with the Giants on the horizon are interesting. But shout out to Menards. We partnered with Menards this football season and this winter season as your one-stop shop for everything for your car, and that includes Splash windshield washer fluid. So if you're planning a road trip this holiday season, make sure that you top off the windshield washer fluid before you hit the road. The grimy sort of just sleet, snow, dirt on the roads mix that hits your windshield. You want to make sure that you can see out that windshield, especially for holiday road trip season. So head to Menards and stock up on Splash windshield washer fluid, because performance matters on the road and beyond. 2 Men in a Truck are here to help you with your moving needs as well, Dex.
Yeah, I've moved so much over the last 4 or 5 years. It's a painful process. I don't like it, but for the first time, I hired 2 men in a truck. I had them take care of my move earlier this spring. Best decision ever. Didn't have to worry about packing up the truck, finding the truck, who can drive the truck. They can handle all that stuff. They have different size trucks. I've used them. Phil has used them. We have used them, obviously, this year, too. So if you're looking to make your move, and especially with it being extra bitterly cold right now, if you have your leases up or you're closing on a house, let the experts make that move happen for you. Tell them that Purple Daily sent you. Go to 2minuteatruck.com to get your quote today.
By the way, according to OptaStats, tonight marks the 3rd time J.J. McCarthy has thrown multiple touchdown passes while also rushing for a touchdown in the same game. Nobody else in NFL history has done that 3 times within their first 8 games of their career. So another would-be impressive stat if he wasn't a bust after the first 6 games. It's kind of irrelevant, since he's already a bust.
So is 9 back?
9 is kind of back. It's been 22 years since the Vikings, Wild, and Wolves all won on the same day.
Wow.
December 20th. Well, almost 22. December 20th, 2003 was the last time all 3 teams won on the same day.
The Wild obliterated the Bruins.
What was the final? 7-1?
I think it was 6-1. And Quinn Hughes scored a goal.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Big game hunting is what we do here.
That's right.
Big game hunting. So just prepare yourself.
No, they're never going to do anything like that. Why would they ever do something?
Giannis is coming. Just prepare yourself. Giannis is next.
We'll talk about that again on Flagrant House.
I know we will. I know we will.
Judd's hockey show.
It'll never happen. These trades will never happen.
You know what it's all about, though, in hockey, right? You know what it's all about? Hard work and having fun? No, shut the F up. Sit down, Spurge. It's about winning.
Yep. We're all going to win.
Quinn Hughes is here now. Okay.
Yep.
One of the zip it.
Probably the second best defenseman in the entire league right now is on your team.
That's amazing. Where does Faber rank in that defenseman pecking order?
Oh, he's probably outside the top 10. But I mean, not far out.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's really good. Quinn Hughes is all world.
Is Quinn Hughes better now than Ryan Suter at the time of that acquisition?
Not even close. It's a huge gap. Huge gap.
They
Quinn
literally
Hughes
have
is way better.
I mean, they have it. This is the first time in franchise history, probably, that they've had one of the 3 best defensemen in the world, and then one of the
best forwards,
highest ranked forwards and goal scorers, playmakers.
Yeah.
Yep, you got it right.
Judd's hockey show.
Plan the parade.
Let's
down 94.
Let's slow down a little bit.
Write down 94.
Let's go back to the second round before we.
I'm driving. I am going to be driving the convertible.
With a Judd's hockey show.
Podcasting from the convertible.
Banner.
Agent, I'll be sitting back there.
Any other final Vikings thoughts from you guys before we say goodbye here on Vikings Vent Line?
I just think that this now is what I hoped, which was it's 5 games of what do you get? Like, because if it was a disaster, it would be very hard to be enthusiastic at all. And yeah, I know that these games don't mean a thing in terms of playoff spot. And in truthfulness, too, it's not like the Commanders game. Oh, the Vikings are alive. They might. But when you see the development, when you see that McCarthy is on the right track, especially given that it comes in the same season where it looked hopeless at times, I think with 3 games left now, I think this is playing out about as well as you could have hoped for. Because while I wouldn't mind if they lost games, my most important thing was how does he play? And he is playing well now. And I don't know that I totally bought in to the Commanders' performance. It was 1 game, but this was prime time in Dallas. It was a game. I know the Cowboys aren't great, but they're competitive.
They're very, very good since the trades.
And they had everything, to gain by winning this game. And they flat out lost. And one of the reasons why, a primary reason why they lost, was J.J. McCarthy. So this to me is playing out in a really intriguing way.
Yeah. Dex, any final thoughts from you?
Yeah, I was just impressed. I was impressed with Kevin O'Connell. Fun little pie. I think my pie's ready. You know, there's sometimes some tweaks after the show ends and into the morning. But I think my pie is ready for my pie chart of praise tomorrow. But yeah, it was a good win, and I think the last thing would be, well, the Commanders win was, oh, well, that's just a really bad Commanders team, which it is. It's a horrible Commanders team. But you should be beating up those bad teams, which they did. The Cowboys, offense, really, really good offense. And actually, the defense, like, held them to some points, and Brandon Aubrey missed some field goals. But also, that defense stinks. So you should also have some success against that defense while making the proper adjustments. So, the weird caveats, well, actually, or and but, like, no, man, I'm fine taking two really good step forward with both these games with JJ McCarthy. So that's what I'm looking at, and I want to see if he can do it again for the next 3 games.
Yeah, it is. Again, I prioritize the development of a 22-year-old quarterback over. They're 12th right now on the tankathon board in the draft rank. If they had lost these last 2 games, they'd be closer to 6th or something. I don't care. I'd rather see McCarthy take big steps forward. And I do want to check something. Like, I feel like too many people are just dismissing that Commanders game. There are some really garbage teams in the NFL. The Commanders were in the NFC Championship game a year ago, and yes, they have eroded a little bit. They've declined. They got slapped with a tougher schedule, bunch of injuries. Jaden Daniels was out, and probably should not have come back. But like, that Commanders team was right there on the doorstep of beating a Broncos team that is in line as one of the 3 Super Bowl champion favorites right now. 2 weeks ago. So the Vikings not only just kind of like narrowly edging the Commanders, but beating the brakes off of them 31-0. That's the thing. If they had just kind of barely beaten the Commanders 16-13 and the offense looked bad, throw that game out. They dismantled that football team in the way that you should, a team you're supposed to beat, and then you come out primetime, Sunday Night Football, overcome the immediate interception, and you go on to score 34 points. Too little too late in terms of team success this year, but the next best thing is, okay, what are you building for 2026? And tonight was a massive, massive check mark in the right columns. So plenty more on this, boys, tomorrow morning live on the Purple Daily YouTube channel, 9 a.m. Central Time, for our hottest takes, for the pie chart of praise, and some other fun stuff. We also have Football Takes, Score North Football Takes YouTube channel going around. The rest of the league was chaos today with massive injuries and playoff ramifications.
Yep.
And swings left and right. So we'll have that. And then Judd's Hockey Show, as the Wild have become one of the most interesting teams in the NHL now after their blockbuster trade.
Juggernaut.
And the Wolves are rumored again to be involved in some big game hunting trades.
Never
They
happened.
won again tonight without Anthony Edwards, so Flagrant Howls is going to be coming at you.
You guys at Score North, that's so cute. They're never going to trade for
And
those guys.
and
Quinn
the
Hughes is
Twins,
never
I
coming
think,
in.
have a roster spot open on the 40-man. So
Yeah, the Twins are
be
like-
The
ready-
Twins be the last
ready
holdout
for
to sign a
that.
major league free agent.
Why didn't they take someone in the Rule
Oh,
5 draft and
God.
keep him? That will be explored this week.
Coming up next.
All right, for Judd, for Dex, and for all the fans who joined us, the ones who joined in Dallas, awesome time here tonight. Vikings Vent Line. Click that subscribe button if you're new here, and the like button. 365 days a year of Vikings takes, entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die. See ya.